Welcome back to the Fatu Show. If you enjoy just joining us, my guest is the Deputy Director General of the Gambia Radio and Television Services, Malik Jones. He is also the interviewer, the host of the interview on GRTS. So I'm interviewing the interviewer, and he just asked about my glasses, if I got these from Comium.
Yeah, I thought maybe...
Does this look like that? These are crystals. It's the first time I'm taking them out, especially for you. I got these from home. It's like crystal glasses that I use for special people.
Let me drink to your health and wish you Happy New Year.
Okay, thank you very much.
The only problem is that it's water.
Yes, it's water because it's healthy.
I thought
it's
you were
very healthy. I
me.
take a lot of water. I don't do sugar anymore.
But for me, I'm your guest. You should have asked me.
Yeah, but water is very good for you.
No, you can't tell.
No, but I have to look at what is healthy for you because we want to have you around for a long time.
I will.
Well, Malik, now let's go back to the interview.
I am guaranteed to be long.
For how long?
For as long as
1,000 years.
No. Come on. That's
so now let's go back to the interview. You did mention that you you studied in Sierra Leone for 3 years. Was that all? Where else did you study? Was it in Gambia? Sierra Leone?
Now. Gambia here, and I think, to be very honest with you, I don't think that there was anything that Sierra Leone had to offer me than what I got here. Look, by the way, I went to Crab Island School at a time when Crab Island was so competitive, more competitive than being at Gambia High School, by the way. Yeah. Simply because you had radical. Oh yeah,
Crab Island. Has that ever happened?
Oh yes. Listen, let me tell you who my teachers were.
No, but what I'm saying is it has to do with the mark. You have to have a certain mark to go to Gambia High School.
My
so
God.
Gambia High School was always there.
When it comes to content.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the caliber of teachers who were in Crab Island between 1968 and 1972, that's the period I was in Crab Island. We had James Abraham. Yeah. We have the Tal brothers, Sajad Tal, Sio Omar Tal, Baimas Tal. We had Simon Kinte. We had our Oba. We had Adelaide Carayol. Yeah. We have the former Chief Justice Savage. Yeah. Okay. We have people like Sidibe, Mr. Sidibe, Dr. Sidibe, the psychologist. I told you about the late Simon Kinte. He was around, Anti-Blind Foster. You had people, Koro Sala, can you imagine Koro Sala, Saul Jara? You know, these were people who were just from Ghana, radicalized in Ghana by Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah. All right? These were guys who actually imparted a lot of knowledge, you know. Yes, we were very competitive.
I went to Gambia High School, and I know it was good. So now, what exactly did you study?
Or what I liked. It's not what I studied. I didn't study anything.
Okay, that's what
I followed what I wanted to be. Let me tell you a story.
What did you do?
Let me give you a story.
Yeah.
You see, in 1963, I got the inspiration that I was going to do this job. It was the day, 63. It was the year that John F. Kennedy was assassinated. And then I was about 9. My uncle was tuned to the Voice of America. It was a big story. The assassination of the President of the United States, for that matter, John F. Kennedy. It was big. And every 30 minutes, just like you have on television and radio, you have the signature tune of the station. Yeah. Right? Station ID, we call it station ID. And you'll hear this baritone, big voice will come. This is the Voice of America, broadcasting from Washington. I just fell in love with that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I said, one day I'm going to be like that. This is a true story, and I swear on my pilgrimage. I went to school. I finished at Crab Island, and I said, I said I was going to be like that man on VOA. But look at me, I'm finishing at Crab Island. No. I don't think when I go to work at Radio Gambia, then they will take me. So I decided to go to Sierra Leone. I came from Sierra Leone, did a couple of work in the hotels, got very closer to people who owned the language, mastered the language, spoke the language. I was very close to the Tubabs. Yeah. And I kind of got polished, refined, listened, because like most, this job is a job like, you got to listen because this is not my language. It's not our language, right? You listen to the people who own the language, try to get as close as...
But you know, Malik, your accent is different. Like it's different from when a British is speaking, and it's different from when a
Mine is super. Speaking, mine is more beautiful. Like mine is more beautiful than the Tubab. Mine is more beautiful than the Tubab.
But it's very different.
The Tubab will marvel when I talk, because I mean he doesn't have that. Well, let me put it this way. I mean, this is a gift. There is a gift that comes from Allah. It's divine. You got to work with. How you work with it is that you have to
because you cannot just wake up one day and you have an accent. I've never seen that anywhere.
All right, let's take it from I would say it's an artistic job. It's the job of an artist, right? I mean, the people who go and talk, public speakers, these are all artistic work. Sometimes, like I said, it's a gift of God. All right, you've got John Secker, who when he speaks, he stammers. But when he sings, it disappears. And he's a good singer, of course.
So now, tell me, what's your experience in the media? Because, you know, like some people will start from somewhere and then go to the radio, and sometimes people would just go into the media just because it's PR. And like you said, you were working at the hotel with the Tubab. Was it just from there that you went to radio, or?
I'll tell you, very funny. In fact, Mr. Tomasi might be listening to this program. He was then a senior broadcasting officer, Marcel Tomasi, now chairman, board of directors of Grts, yes. I think I just closed one evening from the Atlantic Hotel. This is the old Atlantic in Banjul, before they moved over. That was in 1980. And then I heard Boram Boj read the news. And it just clicked to me. Here I am from Sierra Leone. I'm a sixth former. And look at me, I'm working in a hotel, in a restaurant and bar situation. This guy reading the news, he can't do it better than me. I was that committed.
Wow.
The next morning, I went to Radio Gambia, physical go to Radio Gambia. I went, I'm asking for the senior broadcasting officer, Mr. Tomasi. I knew his name. I said, I'm looking for a job here. Wow. He said, what brought you here? True story.
Yeah, like,
and I was just frank and just I said to him, I want to work here. He said, why? I said, I had somebody read the news yesterday. I think I could do better than him. That was me. Plain like, he was annoyed, totally annoyed that I made that. Like... Yeah, it was. But I knew I was actually just telling him what I felt at that moment. Well, actually, he said to me, all right, you can go and write. I said, then I have relatives here. I went to see my sister. I said, look, I went to meet this man here, Marcel Tomasi. I told him I want to work here. He was not very nice to me. He said, don't you know Marcel is married to your cousin? Your cousin? I said, my cousin. I said, better talk to him. Talk to him. Because this country, you have to talk to people. Talk to him.
So that was how it started.
Well, then they invited me to do, this was where I knew I was going to get a job. They invited me for what they call a voice test. So I went to the studio at mile 7. They gave me the news to read. I read it, and as I was coming out, the guy who was recording me, it was a sound record. It's called Sam Taylor. Sam said to me, hey, my brother, I don't know whether you'll have this job, but you have a good voice.
That's true.
That was the boost I wanted. He said, you got a good voice. And for me, radio, television, whoever is on the media, for women it's different. But for men, I mean, speak like a man. Be a man. Be strong, bold, baritone.
Yeah, because that's what television is. It has to be your voice, the personality, your face. It has to be intact. Yeah, and you are a DDG, and you have a weekly program called The Interview.
I want to have another program.
Oh, you're having another one? Because I was going to ask you if this would affect your performance as the DDG of our national broadcaster.
How many it's now about 1 year I've been DDG.
It's been 1 year?
Oh, yeah, and the interview is...
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Does it, would it affect your job, or is it affecting it? Because sometimes you're in your office and you have people waiting, or you have something to do, and you have to come down and record an interview.
What happened on the 24th of November last year?
The election ones?
Of course. How long did we stay here?
Yeah.
A day and a half.
So it's not affecting your job. So you're looking at having another one?
Another program.
Wow.
Another one. But that one is going to be a monthly program.
Okay.
And it will be repeated every 2 weeks. Yes, it's called The Vision. And what the vision is, it's like a sort of a countdown to Vision 2020. I'm looking at the achievements of the Jammeh administration in line with what is projected to be the Vision 2020. We have made significant gains in the MDGs. We've gone considerably well in education, health, and so. So these things must be documented to show people the way forward.
So you're planning on having a show on that?
Actually, I even wanted another one if I could have done, if they give me the airtime.
Yeah, but 3 would be too much.
Yeah, passport, our diplomatic passport. I think that the diplomatic community are left behind. How many countries do we have diplomatic relations with? How many of them celebrate their national days
but they do come on our shows once in a while.
Yeah, but have them. Today is the ambassador of the United States of America. He's on the table. Mr. Ambassador, what have you been able to achieve here in the Gambia during your tenure? Look at the Independence Day celebration, July 4th in the Gambia. How
we have an appointment. We have an interview booked with the ambassador.
Anyway, but if it's too much, I'll just put that one, and we can produce it and let somebody do it, host it. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. But also, Malik Jones is somebody that a lot of people view as someone who does not mince his